To conduct an indirect behavior assessment, I would make sure to find multiple people to interview. My reasoning behind this is so that way I could get more of an accuracy of what's going on and see if multiple people see the same thing. I think I would definitely have the parent as one of the interviewees. I would probably find a para or another teacher, the principal, anyone in the school who might know the child, and they do not work with them directly at the moment, and I would just ask them questions. So one of the things I would use that I saw in the article I'll mention is the behavior interview. So some of the questions might include like, what times of the day does the behavior occur? What activities will the behavior more likely occur in? What settings would the behavior more likely be stronger? Just questions like that. The questions are kind of just based on the knowledge of the individual. I also like the use of open-ended questions. I think that those would work very well as well, and I would use those. There's also the behavior rating scales, which identifies a function that the student is motivated, a function of behavior that the student is motivated by. The one that I liked the most was the one that you used in one of the videos, and it was the motivation assessment scale, which identifies one of the 4 functions that we've discussed previously, which are sensory, escape avoidance, tangible, and attention. There's also another one I really liked that was called Questions About Behavior Function, and it just focuses on each function of behavior. The questions are focused on each function of behavior. So there's attention, escape, non-social, physical, and tangible. So anyway, that's what I would do to do the indirect assessments. Some examples of direct assessments are incidental reports. They are written within several days and time periods. It has to be done that way in order to get a good view of the behavior. And they also need to know what happens right before the behavior occurs. So there's a lot of things that goes with that. It's very important to observe over several days. There's also scatter plots, which I really like the scatter plots. I think it really helps in seeing when the behaviors occur. So basically it has the ability to figure out the settings and times of day that a behavior occurs or does not occur. Once that part is figured out, then you can go more in depth in the assessment and use an assessment method called the ABC analysis, which can be implemented by the times and settings that the scatter plot suggests. So the person will do the analysis by looking at the scatter plot. A scatter plot is a grid. It contains the time, days, dates, activities, locations, and any additional comments that need to be written down for the data. There's also the ABC analysis, which I mentioned, but it contains the behavior reaction, the consequence, the target behavior itself, and a hypothesized function. So what your guess is on what the function probably is, and any extra comments that may be needed At the bottom of this ABC analysis, a person can jot down operational definitions at the bottom, such as, like an example would be Stamp's feet tipped over a chair and screamed to the top of their lungs. Something like that, whenever asked to do a direction. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. So I didn't really explain direct. Whenever a direct assessments are for people who work directly with the student. Indirect are people that don't work directly with the student but know the student very well. So those are the differences between the two. The source that I got this from was, the authors were Alberto, Trotman, and Axe. The title of the article was Function Behavior Assessment and Behavior Support Plan. And then to the side, which I don't know what, it was just on the bottom part of the paper, it said determining the function of the behavior. So those are my thoughts on how I would do things, and for the indirect assessment and examples of direct assessments. So thank you.